Hello, my group members are Angelina Worthington, Zari Madrigal, and myself, Alan Kahl. For this assignment, we conducted an observation analysis of culture. The purpose of this assignment is to observe how culture is expressed in everyday life through behaviors, communication, values, and physical objects within a public setting. Our observation took place at Sunshine Hotel and Restaurant, located at the entrance of Corozal Town. This observation was conducted for approximately 1 hour and a half, from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. During this time, we observed approximately 20 individuals, including customer and staff members. Due to the time we went, we observed that this wasn't a busy day as usual. The environment consisted of dining tables, chairs, pool area, decorations, and food service areas. The atmosphere was relaxed and friendly, with people eating meals, talking with family members, and interacting with the restaurant staff.
Okay, so for my part, we'll be starting with element 1, languages. The first element of culture we observed was language. Language can be defined as a system of communication using gestures, words, and symbols shared between the community or your surroundings. At Sunyan Hotel, where we went and do our research, the staff mainly communicated in English and Creole, Belizean culture. Some customers also used Spanish when speaking to their relatives and friends that were there with them. This reflects that the multicultural and multilingual of our country believes the use of multiple languages in one setting shows how language helps people connect society and culture.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Sunshine View Hotel and Restaurant. Here's the menu. I'll be back to take your order whenever you're ready.
For the second element that we have is symbols. Symbols are objects, signs, or images that represent shared meanings within the culture. At the restaurant, examples of symbols included restaurant signs, local decoration, and any visible Belizean colors or national representation present in the environment. These symbols reflected local identity, pride, and sense of belonging. They helped to create an atmosphere that connected these settings to Belizean cultures. So basically, where we gone at a restaurant, it had the colors of Belize. It made us feel like we were in a cultural restaurant, to be honest, where they were serving cultural food, of course. Now for the third element we have is value. Values are shared ideas about what is considered wrong, right, important, and desirable in society. Basically, it's how other people view you too. At Sunshine Hotel and Restaurant, we observe values such as respect, hospitality, and politeness. Staff greeted us with kindly and served us with all respect, and we observed that they did the same to other customers. So basically, we could say every single customer is treated equally. They made sure that we were comfortable in the environment. This shows that hospitality is an important value in Belizean culture, especially in public places where customer service and friendliness matter, especially in a restaurant. Because if we go there and we're treated bad, we're not going to return, and the business loses.
The fourth cultural element we observed was beliefs. At the restaurant, some customers appeared to give thanks before eating or after being served and attended to. This reflected beliefs that are commonly in many Belizean families and communities. Even small actions like this can reveal important parts of a culture because they show what people value spiritually and personally. The next element is norms. At Sunshine Hotel and Restaurant, customers followed common behavior. They waited to be served, spoke politely, remained orderly, and respected the environment. These actions show that people understood the expected behavior in that setting. Norms help maintain order and make social spaces function smoothly. We also observe folkways. At the restaurant, friends and family members greeted each other with handshakes, hugs, smiles, or casual greetings before sitting down and while sitting down. These are not strict laws, but they are common social customs that people are expected to follow. They reflect friendliness and everyday social habits in Belizean culture. Another element we observed was Moors. At Sunshine Hotel and Restaurant, people avoided being rude, disruptive, or disrespectful towards staff and other diners. Customers generally behave appropriately in a public setting. This showed that respectful behavior is taken seriously and is considered important in maintaining harmony in public spaces. The next element we observed was sanctions. At the restaurant, staff would politely guide customers about where to sit, when to wait, or how service would be provided. These reminders encouraged proper and respectful behavior. This showed how social order is maintained, not through harsh punishment, but through polite correction and guidance. Here we have two men sitting down. They were waiting for food that was for takeout. The waiters guided them to a seat, they got a drink, and they waited for their food. We also observed cultural diversity. At Sunshine Hotel and Restaurant, the use of English, Belizean, Creole, and Spanish reflected the multicultural nature of Belize. This diversity made the location an excellent example of how different cultural influences can exist together in one public place. Although the language spoken was English, Belizean, Creole, and Spanish, the atmosphere was decorated with Chinese decoration, and the menu was very diverse with the use of Belizean food, Spanish food, and Chinese food. Lastly, we observed non-material culture. At Sunshine Hotel and Restaurant, the overall atmosphere was relaxed and friendly. Families and friends sat together, talked comfortably, and enjoyed meals in a social way. This reflected Belizean hospitality, social connection, and community interaction.
In conclusion, this observational analysis helps us to better understand how culture is expressed in a public setting such as Sunshine Hotel and Restaurant in Coral Town. We learned that culture includes both physical objects and non-physical ideas, such as language, values, customs, and social behavior. This experience allows us to identify how daily interactions reflect the broader culture of society. It also helps us appreciate the role culture plays into shaping communication, relationships, and behaviors in everyday life. Thank you.
Before we conducted this observation, we understood culture mainly as food, music, traditions, beliefs. But after we conducted this observation, we understood clearly that culture is alive in everyday activities such as sitting down, such as greeting one another, such as the basic norms that we all follow as Belizeans, as a society, and help change our perspective completely. We understand now that culture is alive every day. It's not something far and abstract or hard to follow. This observation, we learned that culture isn't something that people just celebrate. It's something people follow through everyday activities. They practice it every day.